Hey guys, today the subject is the Sony Z9D. It's the display that I have been asked about more than any other and been asked to give my thoughts on it. And in the comments we've gone and talked about this display quite a bit. The reason I'm covering it today is that it has dropped in price at the 65 inch to about 4,000 and the 75 inch to about 8,000. The TV originally was about 10 grand. Now, the Z9D is basically a 2016 display and is Sony's flagship. Though they didn't release a 2017, I do still put it as the flagship in being the highest end display that Sony has, even higher than the OLED in my opinion. It is the best LED in the last couple years. Maybe the KS9800. They're about the same in terms of picture quality, in terms of peak brightness. It is a full array display. Very, very deep blacks, more zones than the 940E, and it gets as bright as the 930E, and like all Sony displays, can sustain that brightness for long periods of time. Meaning that unlike the Samsungs, where the bright lights fade, or the OLEDs which dim, Sony's can sustain it for, much longer than those displays, which is actually pretty important in terms of HDR. Now, the Sony Z9D is a monster as far as its feature set. It also has 3D, which a lot of displays don't have this year. If that's important to you, that might be something you might want to look at. Though I always found LED 3D to not be anything in comparison to a projector. The technology has flicker and a little bit of crosstalk, but if that's something you're looking for, it comes with the glasses, and that might be a reason you might purchase it, because very few TVs have it this year. Now, for a lot of you, the Sony Z9D has become this legendary display simply because of its price point. And when we're in the store, we look at it and we're like, wow, that thing is really, really bright. It's amazing. However, it does share the same problems as the 940E in terms of motion. From what I've read, it hasn't really suffered it as much as the 940E, but it still is an issue in terms of blurring in regards to video games and pixelation in regards to fast animation. Or even fast action scenes. You may see some pixel and some artifacting, which is really a shame, because for these displays, 940E, Z9D, they really are the displays a lot of us look at and say, oh, if I had the money, I would buy that. Where in reality, at 65 inches, the Sony 930E is actually a better display. Even though it is edge-lit and its motion is called into question, especially from one of my subscribers, Diamond Marbles, that had both displays, the 930E and the 900E. He did say the 930E did struggle with motion, so enough to where he took it back and has the 900E. So back to the Sony Z9D, is even though the price has gone down significantly, guys, it's not without its problems. Its input lag is very low, which is great for gamers. Its HDR performance is phenomenal due to how bright it is and the full array backlight. Having more zones than the other displays, it does have an OLED type deep black level. So if you're purchasing it just for movies or film-based content, it is phenomenal. Due to its motion problems, it's not great for sports. It's also not great for gaming. There is some information out there saying the 75 inch has better motion than the 65 inch, but I can't find that anywhere to really prove that. I had the Sony Z9D paid for after my 940E, and I canceled the purchase simply because I don't believe a display at this price point should have any issues at all. If you're going to spend the 4,000 on a 65-inch display, you really shouldn't have to compromise so much. And we're going to do a video on compromises since we all have to make them. But the Sony Z was positioned in such a way where it should be the end-all be-all, and unfortunately it's not. It's a beautiful display, but the motion does cripple it, very similar to the 940E. Therefore, I can't recommend it no matter how much the price drops. There are other displays out there that handle those things better. But the Sony Z is a gorgeous picture, but the motion, unfortunately, guys, like the 940E, puts it out of a place where I can't really recommend it. So, thank you as always, guys. Keep the comments and questions coming. And next video coming up.